Welcome to What's in the Box episodes of horror with Donna and Eric. I'm Donna,
I'm Eric.
and we are going to be discussing Texas Horror Lit Fest that is coming up June 27th and 28th in Irving, Texas at the Irving Convention Center. We'll be doing a series of short interviews with some of the authors and the event organizer, um, just to get people aware of the event and who's going to be there and how much fun it is. Because I always have a good time.
Yeah, it's a fun event. And it's weird to watch how it's kind of morphed over the last, couple years, and then kind of it's returning to its roots this year. So
Yeah, because the
it'll be,
previous 2 years it was like a lot of different genres. There was romance, thriller, fantasy, um, westerns. There was just all high fantasy. So there's just like a lot of different things going on, but now it's more, like you said, back to its roots of being more focused on the darker genres, fantasy,
yeah.
sci-fi, and horror.
And of course, dark romance falls in there, and you're going to
Yeah.
have a whole bunch of other different subgenres that some people don't consider horror, but as we've always said, everything is horror. So use your imagination, and you can easily see how some of these things are
Yep.
representative of the genre. That's the cool thing about horror is how big it is and how much it covers. Um, and I think the cool thing this year is that we're going to see a lot of new faces on at the authors tables.
Yep.
So if you've come the last couple years and you are a hardcore horror fan, you're going to run into some new people and get to check out some new books. Um, and there'll still be plenty of people that you have seen over the last, what is it, 4 years?
Yep. Yep.
And so it's going to be pretty cool. And I think Ashley's taken over, and I think her vision is perfect for what the event needed to do what it needed to do because it was going to be gone if
Yeah.
Ashley didn't step up and take over. So
Yeah.
big
And I'm
kudos
a,
to her.
yeah, and I'm excited it's at the Irving Convention Center again, because I really think that was the perfect venue. That's where it was last year. It worked. I thought it was the perfect venue.
It's a
Um,
perfect size for that kind of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And there's panels this year and there's workshops, and they're right there. They're not inside the room where we're doing sales. They're right outside the doors. So you're not going to get lost, but you're also not going to end up missing some of the authors. I think we're all going to be in the same sections and in that one main room this time. I think last year a couple people were outside and in a couple different places. So they've tightened that up, and but we've expanded the panels and workshops. So that'll be fun too.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
No readings this year, but I'm sure if there's enough call for it, they may expand that next year. But so if you are a fan of readings and you want that to happen, you know, bring it up on the Facebook page or let us know in person at the event.
Yep. Yeah.
I guess, and since you and I are both authors that are going to be there, we can kind of go through the interview stuff that we're going to do for everyone else. And we started this with season. We did this with year two of Texas Author Con,
Yep.
right, Donna? And we started
Hmm.
interviewing people to give everybody an opportunity who may be a new author or a lesser known author that isn't used to, kind of giving the spiel or talking about their stuff, an opportunity to jump on and highlight something that they wanted to talk about with their books and kind of give you something, an idea of what to look for when you're at the event so you can make notes and stuff. So I think it's really cool. We did it for 2 years. I think last year was the first year we kind of skipped it.
Yeah.
Um, just got kind of overwhelmed with other things.
Yeah,
And
just a
so,
lot of stuff was happening for both of us. So,
yeah, perfect storm. So, but we did kind of miss out because there were some authors, some newer authors last year that I don't think we had an opportunity to talk to until the event. So, but it was really cool to kind of meet some of the people beforehand and give readers an opportunity to meet them in case they haven't run across them on social media or at another event. So,
right. Yeah.
so we'll do our thing where we ask a couple questions, and we're going to try and keep them all the same questions so that everybody has so you have an idea of the camps that people are forming. So first off, is Michael, Jason, Freddie is what we like to start with. Mine hasn't changed. Is yours?
No, still Freddie for me.
Still
It's still
Freddy?
Jason for you.
Yeah, 100%. So, and it's kind of hard. I mean, are they really going to change? Because we're not going to get anything new.
Yeah,
So really, we're just kind of us. We haven't had anything introduced into the storyline to change our minds. But and really, the only one that have an opportunity would be Michael. And the last couple of things they've done, I thought were ridiculous. So it only
yeah,
made me hate it more. So, um, but no, yeah, I love Jason, and I even watched part four the other night, and it was ridiculous, and there were so many terrible things in it that I just kind of glossed over as a youth because that's what you do.
Mm,
But I was watching this one with a little more detail, and I was trying to pick up on some stuff, and I was like, wow, this one's out there. The final chapter is out there. There's some stuff that I'm like, I cannot believe these are the decisions they made, but
yeah,
still, at the end of the day, pretty fun. And yeah, I'm always Team Jason. I will always vote for Jason. So
yeah,
I love Freddy. I mean, as an icon of horror, and Nightmare on Elm Street and Dream Warriors are two of the best movies. They're both easily top 10 movies in my mind
yep.
for horror. But when you factor in all the other movies, I feel like it gets pulled down a little bit because
Hmm.
you know I'm not a big fan of two, and although I haven't revisited two in a while, so maybe I need to go back and watch it and see if maybe with a new look, it holds up better than I remember it. I just don't. I remember not enjoying it when it came out. Now, four and five are great for what they are, but they're really just one-liners
Yeah,
and gross out kind of stuff. And stories are fine, but they're not really. It's nothing earth, you know, shattering or groundbreaking. And then after that, it really gets bad. And then I don't know. New Nightmare was kind of interesting.
yeah. That was all right. Dream, yeah. I mean, they were. I'm not a big fan of sequels, honestly, unless we're talking Star Wars.
Right.
So even though I love Dream Warriors for Freddy, not really a huge fan of any of the other ones.
And I think Dream Warriors gets a pass because it feels less like a sequel and more of like a reimagining, maybe
Yeah,
a new starting point.
yeah,
Because really, if you take it into if you look at it, you're saying one's its own thing, two tries to feed off of it, but it changes the storyline so crazy that you could say three is actually a restart.
right.
And so it could technically be a number one in its own right. And they also did a lot of things in that one that they didn't do in the earlier ones and that wasn't done in most horror movies up to that point, which is that injection of horror comedy.
Yeah,
While still kind of being serious too. I mean, it's because if you look at some of the other horror comedies of the time, they're definitely more comedy than they are horror. But this one really still holds on to its roots. But
yeah,
yeah, no, I totally get you with that. And if we were to like line them up, it'd be kind of difficult to. Yeah, I would have a hard time ranking Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween as the movie itself. Which one's the best of
right.
those three? That would be a tough one to do because they all have such historical importance to the genre and
Oh,
to kind
absolutely,
of all of
absolutely.
our everybody that grew up at that time. Those were the kind of the movies that got us going. So
Yeah.
um, I think somebody can point to one of those three and a handful of others, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or there's a couple other movies that were iconic that you could point to as, oh, this is the movie that got me on this path.
Mm, yep.
Um, so favorite cryptid?
It's still the Wolpertinger. I can never say it. It's the half like rabbit looking thing with antlers, not a jackalope because it's got a wings too. And basically it's from Europe and it's not like a cryptid that's going to kill you. It's just a cryptid that will lure you into the forest so you get lost and you starve to death.
So
So
it's
it,
yeah, it's a slow burn cryptid.
yes, yeah, a subtle cryptid.
Yeah. And that's part of the reason why, because we initially talked about the question and it was going to be more specific, but I knew that you had one that was outside the box. So I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure and I'm sure somebody's going to throw some more cryptids out that we've never heard of. So that's kind of cool. I always have to vote Goat Man.
Of
So
course. Yeah.
um, that's my guy. And but I mean, I'm fascinated with all of them. They're all amazing. The lore behind all of them and how they came to be, and the ones that have lasted over time is really impressive. Some of the things. I mean, it's kind of like Aliens too.
Yep.
And but yeah, no, the Goat Man, the whole idea of it is pretty terrifying. And to know that I've been in the area and that later this year I'll actually be kind of in the spot, at the Goatman Festival. That'll be interesting to
That will
kind
be
of
really awesome.
pinpoint everything there. But and then to be, surrounded by a bunch of fans of the actual character that's in, a couple of my books. So
We're trying to
um
get a group together to go out there and cheer you on.
it'll be cool. I mean, you guys will have a great time because I was looking at the list. There's like hay rides and there's mazes and there's all these
Yeah.
activities and stuff. I mean, the vendors are kind of just there for after all the cool activities are done. And there's a ton
Yep.
of stuff. There's gonna be a bunch of movies, I think, being screened and a whole bunch of stuff. So it's gonna be exciting just to see kind of what they're doing because it's more of an open, I don't want to say floor plan because it's outside, but it's gonna be quite a bit of horror activities and fun things to do. So
Yeah.
and then I say for our conversation, and maybe it changes later, but for the third question, let's do possession or zombie? Which way would you? What's your favorite subgenre of that?
I'm gonna have to go with possession only because I like zombies, but zombies are kind of predictable.
Hmm.
The storyline is predictable. Possession stories, they can just really turn into anything. Like
Yeah,
they can go into so many different routes. Um, so I got to go with possession.
yeah, and I think that I mean you really have to be just a huge zombie fan to pick zombie because, like you said, there's basically two zombies. You got slow zombies, fast zombies. There's your choices.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have anything else to go with. Now they still have some really great zombie movies, and TV
Mhm.
shows, and stuff. But honestly, when I watch those, all I can think of every time is they're telling us that the zombies aren't the monsters. It's all the other people that are still surviving with you that are
Yep.
really the terrible things and the monsters. And so that it's another confirmation that people are terrible.
Yeah.
So, and then, yeah, with possession, I mean, what's your favorite possession movie
I'm gonna have to go with the Pope's Exorcist. It's a newer movie.
with Russell
Um,
Crowe?
yeah, I mean, obviously except for Exorcist, because that's the very first possession movie I remember. But I was really impressed with the Pope's Exorcist. Really super impressed with it. It just was fun. It was scary, but I didn't find it like super over scary.
Hmm.
Um, and there was just one of the opening scenes was where Russell Crowe was trying to exorcise a young boy, and they brought in a pig. And basically, the theory was to transfer the demon into the pig, and then to slaughter the pig. I just thought that was something I hadn't seen before.
Yeah. No,
You
it's
know,
I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen clips and I mean, how do you not like Russell Crowe? I love Russell Crowe.
right,
So,
right. And
um,
he was a clergyman, but he was not perfect. You know,
yeah, those are always the best ones. And I think
yeah.
and actually doesn't The Exorcist establish that?
Yeah,
I mean,
because
that's kind of
Karras is the
yeah.
same way, yeah. But Crow's character, he was not perfect, but he was still pious.
Hmm.
Um, and I thought he did a really great job with that role.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's one that everybody says, The Autopsy of Somebody.
Jane Doe, I think
Yeah, I
it
think that
is.
one's a possession one that everybody says is the best. And it's on my list, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
And maybe we should make that an episode. And then the other one, I like Constantine. It's got some fun possession stuff in it, and
Yeah,
that one, leans into DC Vertigo lore, and you got some key on it there. And The Exorcist 3 is probably my favorite. I love that. I love the book,
yeah,
and I
that
also
one's. That one's really good
And
too.
then if you watch the director's cut, it's an almost completely different movie. Um, but I'm a huge George C. Scott fan, so I just love that movie. And Shocker, Wes Craven Shocker, that's technically. And there's a Denzel Washington movie about a serial killer, and the serial killer,
Yes,
when he gets
Fallen.
killed, yeah, that's a good possession movie.
That's an amazing story.
So yeah, and I kind of like him more when it's less priests trying to get him out and more possessed
Norm,
people doing terrible things, you know.
yeah,
So, but I don't mind the good priest story, but it's hard not to copy Exorcist when you do it. So it
yeah,
sounds like the Pope's exorcism actually does that. It steps outside and gives us some new things, which
yep,
is kind of interesting. Um, but yeah, that's where I probably would be too. Because there's more movies and there's different levels of it. But with zombies, I mean, I guess technically you could say 28 Days is
yeah,
its own thing, and it's kind of different, but not really. And it's interesting to watch that one just to see the time pass because now that we've
yeah,
gotten to years, um, but I know some people were not as happy with the newer releases. Uh, but what can you do?
yep.
Uh, and so those will probably be the three questions we ask everybody. And so if you're an author and you're interested in doing an interview, you can think about it and we'll give a shout out to everybody and get the lineup going. And we'll try and drop a few of these every week. We want to keep them short. Before we go, though, Donna's going to highlight some of the books that they're going to have at their table.
Yep, I will be representing Bludgeon Girls Press at my table. Unfortunately, Angelique Jordana will not be joining. But I will have copies of our anthologies, Christmas House, Queens of Death, as well as books that we've released from authors Baby, Melancholia from Sumiko Salson, Baby from Cyan LeBlanc, Nano Ruin by Aidan Messer and Kiso Healy, as well as some my collection of poetry compulsions. And I will be having my very first collection of short stories,
Oh, sweet.
Sauerkraut and a Drop of Blood, will be debuting at Texas Horror Lit Fest.
Oh, very cool. That's always fun to have something
Yes,
new at an event like that.
yes,
So, and it's also cool. Your table highlights so many authors that don't have an opportunity to be at the event. And
yeah,
so it'll be cool for everybody to get a chance to check out their stuff.
nice. And what about you? I mean, you.
Oh, I'll have the normal nonsense, and I should have copies of the new collection, Smashing Good Time,
Nice. Is that a
and
hardcover or is that a paperback?
it's a paperback.
Hmm.
It's a gloss cover though, so it's
Okay,
not. But look how thick this thing is.
that is pretty thick. Yeah.
So you'll get a bunch of my nonsense in one collection, and then I'll have most of my other stuff, and bookmarks and T-shirts, and maybe a few more surprises. We'll see when we get closer to the event.
Nice. Well, we're looking forward to everybody. It is a free event. So Irving Convention Center, I believe it's 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., the 27th and 28th of June.
And if you're not a member or following the Facebook page, go do that, and any updates you'll get from that.
And we'll see you there.
Take it easy.